Lai Omotola.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on what part of the globe you're watching this broadcast from. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for sharing your time. This is Issues in My Country with Lai Omotola. Today, we want to talk about the upcoming national protests scheduled for 1st of August 2024. What is my take? Historically, we've been having protests in this country. And I remember actively, one of the major protests in this country is anti-SAP. Then, people like us were in school, and as young undergraduates, we asked our student union leaders, why should we continue to protest? Because it will apparently delay our graduation from the school. And I remembered vividly the response of one of the student leaders who told me that if we graduate, where are the jobs that we're going to get? So why are we in a hurry to graduate? This is as far back as 1995. He said, why should they be in a hurry to graduate when there are no jobs? 1995, we're now in 2024. The issues are still no jobs. We have moved from fuel subsidy to food scarcity. And albeit people are hungry, citizens complain of hunger, and we all bear witness to the daily difficulties of living in Nigeria as we see the difficulties in different dimensions across the nation. As a result of this, people have come together to say that they want to protest. The right to protest is guaranteed under the Constitution. We have seen protests in the past, and we have also seen outcome of protests, both locally and internationally. The question is, should we protest or should we not protest? The answer is as you want it. Protests will happen, protests will continue to happen because it's part of our democracy. But there's a need for us to interrogate the kind of protests that we want, because for every protest, we want an eventual outcome. First, to those that want to go and protest, there's a need for understanding. The problem we face in this country today, there's a need for us to understand that we have a systemic deficiency in governance. And this systemic deficiency has built up over the past 40 years. And for any individual to come and say he is going to change that systemic malfunction, it is impossible. An individual cannot do it. It is the people that will have to come together to make the system work. And that is why our protest should be channeled into an eventual outcome that is rewarding. The protesters must be very careful not to fall into felony or treasonable felony. When protesters begin to protest that Tinubu must go, it becomes an issue. It becomes a criminal issue and a legal issue. When protesters begin to say hand or bad governance, it becomes vague. I think protests should be unidirectional, specific, precise, and focused. The protest should be reduced to a singular and specific action. When I look at the list of demands from this protest, it doesn't show deep knowledge and understanding of things. For example, when you say that we should cancel the 1999 Constitution, when you cancel the 1999 Constitution, or for it to be cancelled, what you are saying is calling for a military coup to happen, because it is only by a military coup that the 1999 Constitution can either be suspended or totally cancelled. So we need knowledge in these things. When we begin to say that fuel must come to 100 naira per liter, the economics does not support that. The market forces does not support that. How will the government, within the shortest possible time, bring fuel from 620 to 100 naira? I think our protests must be about hunger, must be about human capacity that has drastically declined. And why do I say this? The South African, led by Nelson Mandela, had appetite protests for 27 years. After 27 years, Mandela became the president. And Mandela said this thing instructively. He said when he became the president, he could not get black people to fill high position, because for 27 years that they were protesting, human capacity was going down and nobody was going to school. The black folks have been in government in South Africa, and we have seen the economy of South Africa go south. The recent election has proven that the blacks have not handled governance well, and they have not handled politics also well. So therefore, for the first time, they were not able to make majority in the parliament. What am I trying to say? Our protests should be knowledge-based and should be wise. Not a protest to feel good or to feel among and to say, yes, we are exhibiting youthful exuberance. Our protest should be creative, impactful, and purpose-driven. When we have a myriad of demands, it's difficult for us to achieve results. That's to the protesters. And then the protest should also be peaceful and indicative of what we want to achieve. Any form of violent protest won't be tenable, because we will end up hurting ourselves. So moving forward, we should bring more creativity to the kind of protest we want to bring. And I'm sure there are much more other ways of protest that can be very impactful. Secondly, I don't see any reason why the government should panic over this protest. The government should bring out what I call the rules of engagement, with a full understanding that protest is like a lubricant to our democracy. It is when we protest that we can come to the marketplace of ideas and begin to discuss on the basis of superior ideas and superior knowledge. We should discard with the days of protests that are destructive, that are violent. And I think that is what the government is trying to guard against. I do not think, with the understanding that we have, this coming protest, if it's going to happen at all, will be violent. Having said that, the government should sit up, come up with the rules of engagement, address all the demands in a very articulate, communicative, and transparent manner to calm down the nerves of the people. Nigerians, not by our fault, have become very impatient to failures. We have become very impatient to delayed successes. And agitation is rising day in, day out, including anxiety. Finally, the kind of protests we should begin to protest is for us to protest the decentralization of government through starting from the local governments, where people are now agitating that we should have an independent electoral commission to conduct local government elections. And I feel that government should support this. The reason is this, is that it will make every protester go back to their local government. I'm of the valid opinion that every money from the center going to 774 local government, if adequately and judiciously deployed into that local government, is able to develop every local government. But the problem today is that that money is shared among cronies. Therefore, we need an independent electoral commission that will conduct elections, and even with the introduction of independent candidates, the Constitution should allow independent candidates at the local government level. The essence of this is to free the local governments and allow grassroots to really participate in governance. And when they are busy participating, the concentration at the center, where everybody believes that the entire problem of the nation will be solved by the president, that will fade away as everybody will go back to local government and see how the administration of local government is successfully done. This is my take, and this is what I feel our protest should begin to address. I thank you for spending time to watch this program. Till we meet again, this is Issues in My Country with Lai Omotola. Thank you for watching.